Let's do it.
Music matters.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Ambition, 81 Drew. How you guys doing?
What the fuck is going on, bro?
It's good, bro.
We in here, bro.
Appreciate you guys doing this.
California.
Yeah, this is a dope spot, man. I appreciate you having us.
Yeah, bro. Thank you, bro. It's home right here, bro. I actually live here, so.
Are you from Mountain View area?
Yeah. I actually grew up in Mountain View. I was born in Santa Clara, but I was raised in Mountain View.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Mountain View, I feel like it's kind of an interesting area because it's like right outside of the city, and it's like I feel like it's known for tech mostly, right?
Yeah, no. If you literally look up Google, that's literally like the headquarters right here. So
Yeah.
It's literally like 10 minutes from here.
How far are you from Niners Stadium?
I think we were like 15 minutes.
Oh, that's sick.
So
sick.
we're always there too.
So you were here before it though.
Oh yeah. No, I was way before it here.
When that was like built, did the traffic here just get super manny?
Yeah, bro. Like the light, bro. Everything was like brand new to us, and
Yeah.
like going to Great America, because you know everyone goes to Great America if we're here. So.
Oh, that's like right here, huh?
Yeah. It's like literally right there. So.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm like getting a reference for where this is now. Yeah.
So it's like literally in the parking lot. So it was just like home to us. So it was just like right there.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I feel like when you get that big of like a tourist attraction come, like, I don't know, it just makes where you're living so much more of like a tourist destination. It changes the whole like atmosphere of everything.
Yeah, no, because you got like Google, Facebook, and then you got Twitter and SF, and then you got like Netflix, like 20 minutes from here too. So like people don't really know that, and like that's why it's not known, because they don't really put it out there.
It's like real Silicon Valley.
Yeah, basically.
I feel like people just assume like all those companies are based in the city.
Yeah.
But like none of them are. They're all from out here.
Yeah, and it's separate too, and it's like it's local too. So yeah.
Drew, where'd you grow up here?
Yeah, so I've been at the Bay for all my life, but I was actually born in Mexico. So
Okay.
I came here when I was a little kid, and then I've been here ever since. Love it. I just grew up in Mountain View. I stay in San Jose all the time, San Francisco, Oakland sometimes. But I love the Bay for sure.
How old were you when you like moved to California?
I was like 4.
So you don't remember anything?
I don't remember anything.
Yeah.
I definitely got that culture, that Latino culture. Yeah.
That's what's kind of cool with the Bay Area. I feel like it's a hub for like a lot of like different cultures and immigrants from different places, even parts of America.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People come here for jobs, whatever it be. But like it's always been kind of cool, like growing up in the Bay Area in a place where like you get so many different cultures.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, here you got it all. Here you got music, you got tech, you got like so many from other countries too. Like you know, it's just like the whole world's here, and that's what's up about it.
Do you guys feel connected to the Bay Area?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Like musically?
Yeah, musically, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. It's a cool area to like grow up in musically. I feel like one thing I always say with the Bay is like I feel like it's like think of it as LA but like 10 times more genuine. It's almost as if like I don't know. I've always thought of the Bay as like it's like LA if everybody was like a little bit more authentic.
Yeah, no, we definitely got our own swag here. Like people won't understand our own swag like from LA and this and that. Like the language we speak and like all that. Like they won't understand it. Only from the people from the Bay will understand.
That's one thing that's super different. Even like the way people talk from LA versus the Bay.
Yeah.
Like whenever I'm down in LA, I don't realize the differmages. You know, like I don't realize there's like things we say in the Bay that like they don't say in other parts of California.
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel like if you put like Mac Dre like in the club in like Florida or whatever, they're gonna be like, bro, like what is this? But if you put it here, then you know everyone's gonna go dummy. So
see, that's the thing about LA too. Like LA's dope, but I don't feel like it has the same culture as the Bay because it's very much like a place where everybody comes from different places opposed to like more people being from LA. Like a lot of the people who live in LA aren't from LA.
No.
So it's like you get all these different, it's an influx of people from other places and they kind of like bring the culture of their city or, you know, their state or wherever they're from and like bring it to LA. So it kind of like almost like soaks like a lot of the culture out of it. Whereas I feel like a lot of people from the Bay like grew up here.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, people who grew up here, like straight from the Bay Area, like they grew up on like the hyphy culture and like all that. And I feel like people who grew up in LA, like specifically LA, like they have their own sound, like the West Coast shit. And then I mean, yeah. So I mean, definitely got our own swag here, definitely for sure.
Yeah, on the West Coast stuff for sure. Like damn near like a lot of it. I almost feel like when I listen to like older like LA hip hop, a lot of it like bled from like the Long Beach sound.
Yeah.
When you had like Snoop and like a lot of like the stuff like that like swagger filled like West Coast sound.
Yeah,
a lot of that
definitely.
bled into like early LA hip hop.
No, definitely.
And I want to just say, bro, and the thing that's so dope about us is that like we have that culture and like we try to have that our unique sound, you know, so we can add something to the Bay, you know, not just keep it always hyphy, have the roots, but at the same time branch out into other stuff that we like, and then hopefully other people will like that, you know?
Yeah, no, because if you really hear our music, it's really different, bro. Like,
Yeah.
it's really different. Although, like, we go off, like, you know, sometimes type beats, but at the same time, like the beat doesn't originate from the type beat or like something that we asked for, and it's our own sound. I feel like that's why it's so dope.
And that's fire when you think about like newer Bay artists too. That's like how you take a sound and you start like moving it forward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people from the Bay can't just be making hyphy shit forever.
No,
Eventually, it
not
has
that.
to like evolve into something new, and that's dope. That you guys are trying to like pursue that.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I even asked them the other day, like, hey, bro, like, if you really listen to our music, like, what type beat would you think of? Like, what big artist would you think of when you hear the sound? And he couldn't answer it, because it's like, bro, because we got our own shit. Like, it's our own shit. It's very different. Just like the little bits, it makes it different for us. So
Like
yeah,
a lot
I
of
feel
your
that's
stuff,
just dope.
yeah, a lot of your stuff to me that sounded like it has Bay Area influence, but it doesn't sound like a strictly Bay Area
Yeah,
thing.
exactly.
Especially with like the way you guys treat your vocals and stuff.
Yeah.
A bit more. That's like not so much of a Bay Area thing.
Yeah, no, we take so much pride into making like songs. Like we really take our time with it, and we just want to make sure it sounds so dope, because we've been in this for like 4 years already, and then like our music has definitely gotten way better.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's the dope thing about it, because that doesn't make me stop, because like the more I'm learning, like the more like I want to get more into this shit, like more deeper. And like that's why we're taking our time with our shit, and like, you know, really taking like the pride into what we do and just put it all on our sound. And I feel like that's what's so dope about us.
Do you feel like with each new song you make, like each new rap you write, do you feel like you learn something every time?
Oh, definitely, bro. And that's the dope thing about it, because it like makes me want to do other things, you know, like, you know, sing more, or like, you know, do more like melodic type shit. And instead of just like rapping in bars and this, and that, like I want to expand more, and that's dope about it.
I feel like what helped us was like COVID, not gonna lie, because that really like made us sit down and just plot and just be like, what kind of sound do we want?
Yeah.
What kind of audience do we want to bring? It just made us really like reflect, like we were talking behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like really just reflect and like see how we can move on and see what type of music we can make the best type of music for the type of crowd that we're looking for, you know?
Yeah,
So.
that was honestly, like, COVID was big for me in that sense, too. It gave me, like, I just remember being, like, locked in the house, like, just having so much time to, like, reflect. I was talking to Edward and Cloie on the way here about this, and it's, like, I remember, like, specifically being, like, locked up and just, like, working 24/7, and it kind of made me, like, contextualize and realize that, like, you have to do things that, like, make the work worth it, you know what I mean? Like, it can't just be work 24/7. Eventually, you gotta, like, go out and live your life and like remember like this is like what I earned because I worked, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I mean, I base my music off like the people who I'm around with and what I do every day. You feel me? Like, you know, something can happen last week, like something happened last week, and like that can be like not life changing, but it can really open my eyes to something, and that could be a new song or something like that. Because I just try to make music. We just try to make music for people, like to make an impact in their life and like actually get the message. Feel something. You feel me? And that's always been one of our goals, and I feel like we're achieving those goals right now.
Yeah, I feel like when you have music, like I was talking about this last night in the interview I did. I think like one of the most powerful things in music is relatability.
Yeah.
Like if you give somebody something they can really relate to and like they can get something out of it, or like you said, like maybe people feel something.
Definitely.
That's like how you can make a track that somebody comes back to.
Yeah, and that's a true fan right there, because they're gonna keep coming back, and they're gonna keep, you know, going back to your music and like reflecting if they're going through something, if they're feeling something, you know, they can just turn on your song and it can make it feel better. You feel me? So that's what we're trying to do.
Do you ever struggle with like in your lyrics and stuff, like being super like open and honest about experiences you've had?
Yeah, but I did before, but then it's like it's just part of the game, you know. It's like there's a reason why you're doing this, you know, and like that's the reason. So
I feel like for me, I still hold some stuff that are personal. I feel like that there's a time and place where to say stuff. I feel like the direction that we want to go, we want to be like open. We want to create fans, but we definitely want to keep some stuff kind of personal and just like know when the right time to say stuff, you know?
Yeah, it's a really hard line to tell.
Yeah, it's kind of hard, you know. You got to balance like a lot of stuff, you know, like I don't know. Yeah, definitely.
Especially when like I mean the thing is too, when you open up like that, and you give people something like a true story, something to relate to, that's like how, like what you were saying, like that's how you make a fan.
Yeah.
That's what somebody will come back if they feel something every time they listen to one of your songs. Like that's how you get somebody to come back, and they really get invested in you as a person.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I mean, that's one of our goals too, is just to build a really hardcore fan base. You know, not just one who just listens and dips. You know,
Yeah.
Like we want a hardcore fan base, and yeah.
You guys have played a lot of live shows, right?
Yeah, I think we've done already like close to 10.
Do you see
already.
people coming back to the same shows, like the
yeah.
same people returning?
Yeah.
See, that's gotta be an awesome feeling.
And then like we have our homies too that always support in, and like we have new people supporting too, and actually buy tickets for us. So, and like because some just buy tickets for like the headliner, but like the people who buy tickets for us, like they go for us.
Yeah.
You know, so which is dope as fuck. You feel me? So, yeah.
That's gotta be an awesome feeling. I mean, that's like the sign of a true fan, you know? When someone's like coming back, if they really love your stuff, they're really coming back for every one of your shows. Whenever you're in their city, like they're gonna pull up.
Yeah.
That's like the sign of a true fan.
Yeah, no, definitely. Cause and then when we get booked for these shows, like we have to sell tickets. You know.
Yeah.
So, like some promoters like have us sell tickets and use that money to pay off the slot. You know. So every time we do, bro, we sell it. Like we sell all those tickets, and it's
awesome.
hard because when we first started doing it, it was hard because we didn't know if like 30 people would show up just for us, you know.
Yeah.
We also had no help. We didn't know what we were doing. We were just starting, you feel me? Like anything. We had to like find what worked best for us, and we just kept going with that, you know.
Yeah.
Do you remember like your first show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
It was a funny show. I actually booked King Rod from SOB. I don't know if you know who he is.
Fire.
King Rod. I think it was like 4 years ago or 3. And he never showed up, so I was like, fuck. And then, but the thing is, like with that show, so like, King Rod was headlining that show, and the whole goal was to have people from our city, like rappers from our city, open up for him. So that's why I did. So I gathered up like my homies and shit, and we all opened up for King Rod, but King Rod never showed up. But,
That's tough,
and
man.
then we had a second show 2 months later, and I think like 30 people showed up or whatever. But I mean, it's just part of the game, you know. And like I remember those moments because now like I'm doing 300 plus now.
Yeah.
So it's just dope as fuck to see like the whole thing turn into life, you know, from 30 people to like more than 300, and doing it at like San Francisco, LA, you know, all over California, and it's just dope as fuck. Because we just started out in a bowling alley, so like that first show was in the bowling alley. So from the bowling alley to like
shout out X-Bar though.
Yeah,
for letting us do that.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I just connected with Bird Management, and once I connected with Bird Management, that's where it took off, bro. So.
And they give you all kinds of opportunities.
Yeah. Gerald is like my mentor. So like he. Like,
who?
Gerald, aka Bird.
Is he connected is that the guy who's connected to Brick and Mortar?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, I know him. Yeah,
Gerald, yeah. So I've met Gerald 4 years ago, and once I did, bro, he's been there for me like since the start, you know.
That's awesome. How'd you meet him?
Through IG.
Okay.
Because I saw someone tag him like in a story or like in a post or something, and I was like, oh shit. So I just clicked on his profile, and I saw what he did, and I just reached out, and he like fucked with the vision, and he fucked with like what I got doing. So yeah, and we just been connected ever since.
That's super dope. Is that something you do a lot? Like reach out to people on IG? Because that was how like, you know, like that was how we got connected. Like you just reached out, and that was like, I appreciate that. And it's I think that's a very, very underrated trait. To be able to reach out to people and network that way. Do you find yourself like in people's DMs hitting people up a lot?
Oh yeah, I'm so thankful for social media.
Yeah.
Although like I'm on it all the time, which like could be bad, but like, you know, that's basically my job. You know, I have to connect. You know, I have to reach out as much as I can in order to achieve the goals that we want to achieve, and like the vision to come true. So I just try to reach
anybody
out.
hit us up. You feel me?
No, I mostly just connect on IG.
Connect.
Yeah, connect on IG for sure.
Yeah, that's important. A lot of people think they can do it alone, but you really can't.
Yeah, and then
so
like
hard.
From back then, like I always like think of back then, like how like the artists came up, you know, like the rappers you see right now, like the big rappers, it was way harder for them, and I don't know how they even did it, but you know they fucking did it.
Yeah,
and
that's a
I feel
weird
like right
thought.
now we just have it more easier. Like everything's so easy right now, but it's just things people don't take advantage
TikTok?
of it.
Yeah, that too.
Like people don't take advantage of it. Like people don't realize like how much social media like means like nowadays.
Yeah,
You know,
very much so, especially in networking wise. You know, like it must have been like what you were saying, like older musicians, it must have been so much harder to like really go out and meet people.
Yeah.
Whereas like now you can just shoot somebody DM to, you know, let's kick it, and then it's like that's as simple as it is.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So how did you guys originally meet?
We met back in high school, so freshman year.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's funny too, cause like we met in PE class.
Yeah.
So it was like the first day of high school, and like I went to PE and I walk in and like they had us in like lines, like, you know, by our last name, and he was next to me. So his first 3 letters of his last name is ARR, and mine's ARR too. So we just connected like that.
Yeah, bro, it's destiny, bro.
That's fate, yeah.
And then we just we really connected senior year though. So because senior year, that's when we started putting out music, and like that's when I brought him on.
I just want to say too, we performed at prom. That shit was so lit.
That's fire.
Yeah,
That was so lit, bro.
Yeah, so our senior year too, like we performed at our prom, like out of nowhere, and people weren't expecting that. Shit was crazy.
It's dummy, bro.
And
That's
cool.
so fire.
Yeah.
yeah, so then we really connected senior year of high school, and during our graduation of high school, we literally sat next to each other too because of our last
It's
name.
dope, you know.
So
It's
like,
full
bro,
circle.
Yeah, I know. So I'm like, fuck, like this happened for a reason, you know.
Yeah, that's not some like real fate shit. We were talking about that on the way here. Edward just like found a dog just like loose like in his neighborhood, and then like he took it to the lady, and now he like got a job like walking the dog. You know, like it's just like fate. Like just stuff that happens that way. It's like funny the way that stuff like just. It almost feels like it was meant to happen. You know what I mean? Like the fact that you guys have the same 3 like first letters of your last name, like that. There's something behind that. There's some like whether you believe in God or fate or whatever. There's some like other worldly force that like just makes things happen like that. And I also feel like those are the opportunities you have to be open to. You know, like people who like act as if those don't matter. I feel like that's when you start closing yourself off to opportunities.
And I feel like those moments are like the best ones. Like the best ones where it's just like things happen out of nowhere, and it like things happen good for you like out of nowhere. And yeah, I feel like that's what happened with me and Gerald, and like me and him. Like it just connected, and we just knew it, you know. And that's what dope as fuck about it.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know, like part of me, I don't know if I believe that's like fate, because I'm not really that much of a religious person, but I do think like most things happen for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's some kind of greater plan, be it just some belief in whatever, that like there is some course like the road is supposed to take. Are you guys religious?
Yeah, you say that we are. Yeah. So
For me, actually, I'm like, I believe in God, but I'm more towards like being an atheist, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, I used to be Catholic, but just over the years kind of changed. But I do agree in the sense that things do happen for a reason, just based on my personal experiences and stuff, and based on like what's happening with music stuff, my homie over here, and just overall my life, you know.
I mean, at the end of the day too, like whether it's true or not, it's still like a good thing to believe, because it gives you some kind of hope that like, you know, things will just work out.
Yeah, and like you don't give up, you know. If you have that little hope and that little spark in you, like take advantage of that.
That was another thing I want to ask you about, just not giving up and being persistent. I assume like your name Ambition, the name you go by, that's like a play on that. So why did you choose to go by Ambition originally?
Well, because at that time I was trying to like create like DayDream, I guess. So like I came up with DayDream, and like I wanted something that had dream in it, you know. But like without dream. So I just looked up like dream, and I think I looked up like the antonyms or the synonyms of dream, and ambition came up, and it just clicked for me. And then and it just clicks with like the whole story and like the whole journey of what we're trying to do, you know, because I've always dreamed about like doing podcasts or like, you know, performing live and just making music for people and like making a big impact in people's lives, because I love making people happy. I love making people laugh and like, you know, all these things, and I just wanted to do it like in a music manner. So like that's why Ambition was just like perfect, like the name for me.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I think I mean that's where you really know your music is valuable. You know, if you're, and it's also like doing it for those reasons, it kind of like makes sure that everything you do along the way is going to be genuine. Yeah. But you have to remember like why you started shit. Yeah. That's something that I try to like keep very close to my heart. You know, it's like everything I'm doing now, everything like the whole team is doing now, it started with like me writing. I mean, we were talking about this earlier. It started with me just like writing about albums I liked on Instagram, and it's like I started that because I love music, and you have to remember why you start things. You have to remember it doesn't matter how far you get along your career. You have to remember why you started that career.
Yeah, and also it's just to help out others as well. Like, you know, what I want to do with DayDream is not only help out, you know, 81 or like Filetto or Jared Beatz, but I mean just help out as much people as we can, because a lot of people want what we want, you know.
And then those people he just named, Filetto is our camera guy.
Yeah.
Shout out Philo, he's over there chilling.
Shout out Philo.
And then JR Beatz, he makes all our beats. Dope guy. Shout out JR. JR's the boy.
How'd you guys originally get connected with them?
With so with Jared Beatz, it was through a homie, Jay the Realist, and Tiny and John. So we connected with Jared Beatz through them, and then with Filetto we connected through my cousin.
Oh, okay. So it's just very natural.
Yeah, very natural.
Again, back to some fate.
That's what I'm saying. So, and then it's like family too, because like we've known Jay the Realist for like a long time now, and like the fact that he connected us with Jared Beatz, and it just made sense, you know, and I'm glad it came together.
Yeah, of course. Talk about DayDream a little bit. So, just for everybody that doesn't know, explain like what you guys do and what you guys kind of function as.
So, DayDream, you can say, is like a little label like we're trying to do. Once it gets bigger, we're trying to sign artists under the label. But DayDream is basically like a label in a way where we can book artists so they can open up for other people, like other headliners. We can help them out with their promotion on IG, or like try to fix up their IG profile, anything. So we're just trying to help out other artists as well. But it's just hard right now because we don't have like I guess like the fan base or like the support that we have. It's not big enough. So like that's why.
Also, real quick, in a sense, I feel like we're a movement too. You know, like anybody could be DayDream in a sense. Like, let's say we're at a concert and we're performing. A fan could be a dreamer, you know, a daydreamer, you know. You feel me? It's a movement at the end of the day, and we are pursuing something, but I feel like it's a movement, you know.
Yeah, definitely. That's real, and I think that like you have to keep that in mind. You know what I mean?
It's like ASAP Mob.
Yeah.
Other groups. Like I'm sure you probably know a couple groups, but you feel me? Like we're just trying to, you know, set like a ground, like a movement, you know, like a group type thing. But at the end of the day, you know, we're still individuals. We're still trying to like create a label, help out other artists, but you know. Yeah,
because I mean, during class, like I'd be there, like, you know, looking at like the famous rappers performing, or like in the studio, or like, you know, like having studio sessions, and like I want that, you know, and like I wanted that, and I'm pretty sure other people are feeling the same way I do.
Of course.
So like that's why I'm trying to be that, so like I can try to help them out, because I've been there before. And I know how it feels like, and you know, if I can help this person out as much as I can, I mean that's the whole goal. So I'm just trying to help out other people as much as possible, but also work on my music and like try to be like the main source in the Bay Area, you know, to go to if like artists need help.
That's super dope, because I feel like specifically with a label, you know, the intentions behind a label can get cash grabby, they can get like slimy real quick. So it's cool that like I always think when artists start labels, the intention is a bit more genuine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely.
And I've been around like, you know, artists and how they are, and like, you know, and how they move, and how they live, and like how they deliver, and so like that's why I'm super strict on who I really want to pick. You know, like I want someone who is like always hustling, you know, has a vision, you know, has a dream, and like doesn't want to give up on anything, you know, and always wants to grind. And I mean, and I've met other people too, and it's just frustrating because it's like they don't have the vision, and like I feel like I'm not really gonna connect with them and really communicate with them and like try to get them where they want to, you know, because I just don't want to get taken advantage, you know, as like other people. So that's why I like pick out like specific artists and like people who I really generally fuck with and like see a vision with.
Yeah, that's sick. I mean, honestly, when you're trying to start a label or even act as an A&R in any sense, it can be really easy to be taken advantage of. Yeah. Just as easily as like you can take advantage of an artist can take advantage of you. You know, it goes both ways.
Cause I've definitely been taken advantage so many times because I used to throw shows too, and like when I started throwing shows, and that's when it really opened the eyes for me. It's like, whoa, like people would be shady, like really shady, like they don't care what they say to you, like they don't care how they act around you, like they don't care. And I'm glad I went through that, because like if I didn't go through that, I probably would have been still lost. You know, I still would have been confused on how to move and how to do stuff, how to pull business moves, all these things. So, but yeah, no, definitely it's you really gotta pick out, and you really gotta like focus on like who you're really working with. You know. Because at the end of the day, you know, you don't want to be screwed over or fucked over. So
I know obviously like ambition and like dreaming is like a big thing for you. Do you feel like when you meet somebody, like can you tell right away whether or not they have real ambition, whether or not they really want to work hard?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've met a few people already, you know, that have the same vision as I do. Yeah, I definitely can tell right away how they are and like what kind of person they are.
Yeah, I mean that's the hard part, right? Too. It's like when you're starting something, like you know, DayDream for example, and you have a very specific vision of what you want to be and what you want to do. It's very hard to get other people to understand your vision to the same extent that you do. Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel that with AboveTheBridge for sure. Like the amount of times people have asked me, I go like, "What is it?" You like, it's a music media company. What does that mean? Like, what is it? You know what I mean? But it's really hard. But then it's like it makes the moments when you meet people who really understand your vision and like see what you're trying to do, it makes those moments even more valuable. And you hold on to those people and you really cherish them and you just respect them and you have a mutual respect, because it's like those people are valuable. You know, to not only you but you're valuable to them, and it's just you grow a great relationship based on the fact that you guys both have a belief in something.
Yeah, and I feel like there's not that many of DayDream, I guess, out here in the Bay, because mostly just people would just make music. You know, they don't want to focus on other business stuff, you know, other business like opportunities that they can have, and because that's all I'm trying to do with DayDream is just like have it like as a brand and like as a label too. So, and I feel like that, and like that's why we're different, because there's not that many people trying to do what we're trying to do, and like they're not really trying to help other artists, when in reality we need to help each other. You know, if we really need to like, if we really want to go up and like, you know, put up numbers or whatever, we just gotta help each other at the end of the day, because people would just be in their own lane and just like, you know, just focus on their thing, which is not bad, but at the same time you gotta do it right, you know. Did
DayDream like start with you four, or did you add people as you went?
I've added people in DayDream before, but it's just been mostly me and him most of the long, because due to like, you know, unfortunate like experiences like with other artists, but mostly it's just me and him right now with DayDream.
I get it, man. It's hard to find people that really understand your vision and really believe in the same things you do.
It's so hard, and it's so hard for us.
Yeah,
because they don't see the vision, like they don't see like, you know, what we're really trying to do, and I feel like that's why I'm not really like tripping about how long it's gonna take, because you know, at the end of the day, like I know I'm putting the work and I know I'm gonna put in everything I got into this, and I know it's gonna come true. It's just a matter of time, you know. So
are you a big believer in like manifestation, like kind of speaking your dreams into existence, and like saying things are gonna happen before they do?
No, like before, like, and when I was in high school, like I didn't, but then I started realizing it and started seeing it, and that's when I was like, oh my god, this is sick, this is so dope. So like that's why I'm still doing what I'm doing right now, because of the manifestation. I believe in that fully.
That's honestly a big part of the reason why I feel so honored to interview not only you guys but all the musicians I interview, because it's like I love the idea of like them saying something in an interview and then it like something they're gonna do, and then coming back 5 years later and have that thing happen. You know what I mean? Like that's a beautiful thing. Yeah,
because I see the videos we did before, and like the music videos, like the shows, like everything. Like I always go back to it. And I just fast forward to now, and like to see like all the things that we've done. It's so sick, bro. It's so sick, and I'm proud of 81. I'm proud of like Filetto, JR Beatz, everyone who's been with us. Like we have like really strong support. Like people who really like fuck with us, like they fuck with us, you know. And that's what drives them to our shows, and like that's what drives them to the music. And like our support system is really strong right now.
So did you throw shows before you made music, or was it like after?
No, so first I actually started with music first.
Okay.
So I started with music first, and I wanted to like perform, but I didn't know how to do it, you know. So I'm like, so one day I was just like eating breakfast or like eating lunch, and I was just like, bro, like what if I just throw my own show and see how it is, and just gather up like the homies like who rap from Mountain View, from Sunnyvale, from like around here. just get them in one stage and just have them like open up for like a headliner. And at first there wasn't going to be any headliner, so King Raw wasn't going to be there at first. So that came about like a month or two after I planned the show and announced the show. And yeah.
When you had that experience and like he didn't show up and everything, was that like motivating to like want to like one up yourself next time you do it and stuff? Because I just speaking from personal experience, like I've had failures like that, like huge failures, and I feel like they produce great moments of growth and like reflection. You know, like I'd sit there and I'm like, okay, why did this go wrong? Like, what can I learn from it? Like, do you think you like learned a lesson from that?
Definitely, bro. I feel like if it wasn't for that, I feel like I would have never done the shows I've done in the past. Like, you know, I definitely learned from it. I learned about the business side of booking an artist, or like how to set up a show or how to like put together a show. I definitely learned a lot from that experience. So that's why I wasn't really mad. At the moment, I was mad. Like, I was like, bro, like, what the fuck? Like, you know, this and that. But
of course,
then I was like, nah, like, this is a learning lesson for me, you know? So definitely. But yeah, no, I started doing music first, and then I started doing the shows. I stopped making music I did make music, but I didn't put out as much as I put out the shows. So, and then when COVID hit, that's when I went back to the music. Because like everything was closed, like there was no tours, no shows, no anything. So I was just like stuck. So I was like, all right, bro, like I need to get back in the studio and do something. And then COVID really changed everything for music. I feel like if COVID didn't happen, I'd still be like not be like proud of my music or proud of my craft, you know, or I wouldn't be putting as much effort as I am right now into the music if COVID didn't happen.
So is that like what you guys were doing every single day during COVID, just like locking in and just making tracks?
So like when Jared Beatz hit me up, he was like, bro, like COVID's here, like you're not gonna be doing shows, you're not gonna be doing anything, so you gotta get back in the studio. And me and him, we just locked in like for like, and like at that time too, I also got laid off from my job too. So that's when I'm like, okay, I really gotta lock in now, bro. So we made it like we were in the studio every week, like 3-4 times a week for like about like 4 months. And then that's when he came in the studio too, because he started realizing, oh shit, like he's in the studio putting in work. So like that's when he got into, and then him and Jared locked in, and like we've been locked in ever since like COVID.
Yeah, that's like, dude, COVID, I feel like for so many musicians I talked to, was such a turning point.
Yeah.
You know, it was almost like contextualization that like, wow, this isn't permanent.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely. And it was just hard too, because like things started to open up again, and I wanted to do a show too. But the thing is, like, I got so into like music that I just totally forgot about the shows. And like, well, not totally forgot about it, but I just didn't want to deal with it, because it is a lot of work. It's definitely like frustrating at points. So like I felt like music was the right thing for me like right now. And so I haven't been focused on shows, throwing shows, booking artists or booking headliners or anything like that now.
What's the process of that? Like, do you just pretty much like hit up a promoter, hit up a booker, and then you just like get the bill? And like, what's that like?
Well, yeah, you just gotta hit up like the email and artist's page sometimes, or if you know like someone that's connected to them, like you could just like shoot them a like email or anything like that. But it's mostly like an email. You just shoot them like the offer, shoot them like the whole plan for the show. And what you want to do. No, it's all good. And
I forgot that was connected to the thing.
and then you just get a response, be like, either it's gonna be what's it called? It's I forget what the term is called, but it's either you give them like a bag, or like you just give them money, or you just give them the money that you made off the tickets, off that sales, and just give it to them. So you don't have to pay like the artist. So it's just based off the amount of tickets that they sell. So, but mostly people just want to go like the easy money way. So just give them money, and just give them like the booking fee, which is hard because like sometimes it's like 10K.
You gotta come up with the money,
Yeah. So like you really gotta find like the right artist where it's affordable and that can bring a crowd, and that's very known. And that's when I booked Sui, Sui Generous and DC the Don. Yeah, I booked them because because they're from San Jose. Well, DC the Don is from Milwaukee, but Sui's from San Jose, and it just seemed perfect.
Damn, that's dope. You booked DC the Don. That's fire.
Yeah. So and I really picked him up from the airport. Like
that's cool.
The show, like I was just so connected with him, and like after we went to after I picked up DC the Don, we went to Sui's house. and we kicked at Sui's house for a bit, and then I just dipped and I just went to the venue, and she was like these experiences I never take for granted because I've
That's
met,
awesome.
I opened up for Ugly God, and we did business with Blueface.
What were those experiences like? Was that nerve wracking to get in front of that many people?
Yeah, so with Ugly God, that was like the first eye opener for me.
That was
too.
crazy.
I bet,
That was
yeah.
a crazy night.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that was definitely eye opening.
Lit crowd.
Because I not grew up listening to Ugly God, but I was very familiar with Ugly God, and just to open up for him and meet him and just like chop it up with him, it was so dope, bro.
I mean, he was a huge part of like everything that's happening in hip hop now. Like people think of Ugly God, they don't think about like how influential he was as like an artist. Like it's kind of interesting. You think about like the early days of like the whole SoundCloud wave and stuff. He was on everything.
Yeah, no, definitely. And then like I was already so used to like the hospitality of like rappers, like when they get to the venue. So like I was already familiar with like the whole like behind the scenes of everything, what happens like with the show and everything. And like that's why when I met him, it was still shocking, but you know at the same time like I didn't want to geek out or anything like that because you know but yeah, no, definitely it was definitely an eye-opening experience, especially with Blueface too, like seeing like the impact because like when we did the Blueface business, like he was coming up heavy. He was like where Tatiana like came out and like he was hot, bro.
Famous Crit.
Yeah, so like to see him perform like here in the Bay and like to be like part of like to make that happen, she was sick as fuck, man.
Yeah, I bet. Cause he grew up in Oakland, right?
I think he grew up in LA. I think.
Did he? But wasn't he? He was from the Bay at some point, right? Or maybe he lived here. I don't know.
I think he's from LA. I honestly don't know. I think he's from LA though. I don't think he grew up here.
You ever had any like bad experience with that, like booking shows? Like, what are the challenges that come? Like, have you ran into like any major hurdles?
Like in terms of what? Like
just booking shows, artists, like bad experiences with artists, or
no, definitely. Like, for example, we threw a show in LA 2018 for this artist named Marco XO. He was out of Orlando, Florida, and we just connected with him through Gerald, and we booked him to headline the LA show. And at first we were gonna have like J bands out of a Lil Yachty sailing team, so we were gonna have him headline. But then like we like sent him the money and like his manager just stopped answering his emails and texts and shit like that. So and that was like 2 weeks before the show, So mind us, like we're from the Bay and this is our first time doing something outside the Bay. Yeah. So we're gonna go to LA. A whole different new venue, whole different people that we've talked to, and 2 weeks in, he just stops answering his phone calls, like emails and everything. His manager, so we had to scramble and get another artist. So that's when we got Marco XO. But just like those things, we've always been like, you know, fucked over, like not answering calls, not answering emails, changing up things, like changing up the prices, and like just asking for like unnecessary stuff. That like when it could just be so smooth and just like, all right, I'll pay you, that's it, you show up this time, this is it, and like this is how it's gonna be, like the whole plan, and that's it. But it's just like all these other artists get a little cocky and like, you know, ask for like extra things, and because of like their status or like their following or whatever, you know. And but it's just part of the game, you know. And but I've learned to deal with that. I learned how to, you know, approach that and like how to handle it. But yeah.
I mean, that's super fucked up too, especially when you're like, you know, it sounded like at that time that money comes from you working. You know, it's not like it's not like you're pulling that money out of nowhere. Like you're working your job to get that money, and you're investing it back into your dream. Then it's like people fuck you over. That's a sad thing.
Like with the King Rod, like I paid him out of my Jamba Juice money because I used to work at Jamba Juice. So like all that money I sent him, like that came straight from my paychecks, and for him to like fuck it over, like it is what it is, but you know, I can't really trip about it anymore. You feel me?
Yeah, it's a tough experience though.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you still working a job?
At Jamba?
Just in general?
Yeah, I'm still working a daily job, a better one too, obviously better than Jamba, but like I still work a daily job.
Does that motivate you to like even want to go harder with music to kind of escape that life?
Like, dude, I like hate going to work. Yeah. I hate going to work because like because every time I'm at work I'm focused on the music. You know, I'm focused on like creating different ideas and like different things, and I'm sending emails and like connecting on IG. So I'm always on my phone at work, and like it like pisses them off. But I'm like, bro, it's like, bro, like, I gotta do it because like it takes a big time like out of my day, and like I'd rather put my time into music and doing this than just be working like that. So it definitely frustrates me, and it is what it is. So eventually, hopefully, like later on, like I won't be working that daily job anymore. And like that's the goal, because I really want to do what I want to do. You feel me? I really want to do what I love doing.
Do you work at like a normal day-to-day job, Drew?
Yeah, I do. I actually work at a restaurant.
Oh,
That's
I
why I
feel you. I feel you there, brother. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, if you ever work at a restaurant, bro,
You should try it.
you should try it. You learn a lot, but at the same time, it's helped me. Obviously, I would want to like, you know, not do that for the rest of my life.
Yeah, of course.
But you know, gives me money to, you know, buy food, you know, pay rent, pay stuff that I have to do, and pay for music. You know, that's really why I do this. The only reason I work is really for the music and obviously for like life stuff. But you know, yeah, I'm not trying to work there no more. But shout out where I work at. I won't say work because you know if I blow up.
Shout out work.
Yeah, shout out work. Shout out restaurant business though.
Shout out work.
I feel you there, bro. Working at a restaurant is like the best. Like, it teaches you how to have patience. I'll say that. You know, like there's some people who come to my restaurant who they're not the most polite, not the kind of assholes, and it's like it teaches you. It's given me a lot of perspective regarding like how people are different too, and like the way that like people, because you know if I'm serving a table and someone comes in pissed off, they're gonna take that out on me. Yeah. Obviously, I mean you know that, and then but it's like you gotta. It gives you. It's kind of helped me try to learn perspective a bit more. Like just think like, oh, maybe this person's having a bad day. You know, maybe like I don't know, maybe their dog ran away this morning. Like maybe like they got a fight with like their girl or something. You know, and it's like gives you perspective, and just it forced me to try to think about other people's perspectives more, and think maybe I don't have it so bad.
Yeah, no, definitely. I definitely have those moments too. Because you just never know what someone's going through. You feel me?
Yeah.
And like if you take your anger and put it on them, or like if you take your frustration and put it on them, that just makes it even worse for them. You know, it doesn't make anything better for them. So like that's why I always take that, you know, into heart.
And then you end up feeling worse anyway.
Yeah.
I think like the worst thing to match anger with is anger.
And it costs nothing to be nice, bro.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
Dude, it costs nothing to be nice, bro. So I mean, you know, might as well. It makes you a better person too.
I mean, if you really get to know like the type of people that we are, like we're really genuine people. Like we're straight up when we have to be, but we're really cool people. We like helping people all the time.
Yeah, we're not into the whole like gang violence, like the whole like, you know.
There's no reason for that, you know. Like
I agree.
I get it. People like have that look and like that keeps them going, but like, bro, I'm a Latino kid. You feel me? Like, I promote nothing but happiness. Nothing. I talk about experiences that I go through. Maybe here and there I talk about like you feel me, like ignorant stuff. You know, about the club.
It's
girls,
fun shit though. Yeah.
But you feel me? At the end of the day, you know, it's just time and place for different types of music.
Yeah.
But the type of message that we always want to give is do what you want to do and just be happy. You know.
Yeah, no, definitely.
That's beautiful. I mean, I've always felt so terrible for people who are born into that lifestyle, you know, because speaking from somebody who, I grew up so far from that lifestyle, like I never had to experience that, you know, I grew up with like my parents and I grew up with a relatively good and healthy childhood. So it was like, I've always felt really terrible for people who had to grow up in that environment and, you know, kind of be born into that life and then not really have a choice. It's not exactly that easy to get out of it, I would imagine. And that's always been something I've struggled with, like been like just feeling like I wish everybody had a chance. You know what I mean? Yeah. Some people are born without a chance.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It's just like luck of the draw.
Yeah. And they gotta work for that chance, and they gotta realize that chance. You know, so it's just part of life. You know? It's all
exactly. Life. It's all roll the dice.
Yeah.
What kind of music did you guys grow up on? Did you grow up with music in the household?
Yeah, so like my cousins introduced me to like Mac Dre, like E40, like Too Short,
hyphy shit.
like all the hyphy artists when I was growing up, and obviously it just developed into like other, you know, like J. Cole, Drake, and other things. So yeah, I like grew up on hip hop like ever since I was a kid. I was interested when I was like, I want to say like 6 or 8 or something like that. But my influence basically is just like, you know, like Drake, J. Cole. I will say Kendrick too, but
like the modern goats.
Yeah, like the modern goats basically. Also Russ too. Russ has played a huge role in like my career.
Were you inspired? I could see how you'd be inspired by Rush, or not Rush, Russ.
Yeah.
Rush is a very different artist. But I see how you could be inspired by Russ from like a work ethic perspective. He was really cool back in the day when he was putting out a song a week. You know, he was doing all that stuff, and that I've talked to a lot of artists who were inspired by that. Is that something that you took a lot from?
Yeah, no. I mean, Russ, like his whole story, it was so like relatable how it is right now too. You know, like everything he went through, it's like I'm going through right now too. So like, and he's a big believer in emancipation too. So he's definitely played a big role in like my career. And then he also put out a book too where he just put out straight gems, bro. Yeah. And I hate reading. I've never been a big fan of reading, but I literally read his book and it was like the best thing ever.
Really?
Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
Did that inspire you to read more? Like, did you enjoy the book?
No, after that I didn't read a book. But, but I like when Russ put that out, I was like, bro, like this is a straight gem right here. Yeah. So like I like have to read it.
Oh, dude, maybe it'll put me on. Maybe I'll read it.
Dude, it's sick. Yeah, I can show you.
They got audio version, bro.
Yeah.
How about you, Drew? Did you grow up with music in the household?
Yeah, but for me, actually, I didn't start listening to hip hop till like probably like 13 or 14. What I grew up listening to was Latin music, a lot of cumbias. My parents are Latinos, so they would always play that all the time when we're eating. Bro, they would put that all the time, bro. I was trying to do homework, and they can't, like, just pause it for 1 minute, bro. And that actually, like, taught me how to, like, multitask. And, like, I started listening to, like, instrumentals, lo-fi type music, and just, it helps me, like, to remember, you know, like, when I would study and stuff. But I would listen to a lot of, like, Latino music. And then I started, actually, the first rapper that I listened to on the radio on my way to go play some soccer, it was Drake. Yeah. It was like best I ever had. And that put me onto like mainstream like hip hop, and like you could say that wasn't pop, right? That was just mainstream hip hop,
like
right?
Pop rap, mainstream hip hop, yeah.
And like that branched me into more like the mainstream culture and like hip hop. And then I started digging into more like lyricism. That got me tapped into like the Kendricks, the J. Cole's, the Logic's a big influence for me. And yeah, slowly I just started learning a little bit more about hip hop and getting more into it, and eventually like now I have my own style, and then just cumbias and a lot of reggaeton and stuff like that.
My family always loved singing. Like every time like my mom would be singing, and like I have like my aunts and my uncles I also love singing too.
That's awesome.
And then like we were at our parties, we have like karaoke and like all that, like, you know. So I mean, music, it has always been in like my family, and you know, but the thing is like they never put that effort as much as like the effort that I'm putting in right now. So like right now, like when they see my stuff and like when they see like the videos, and like they're really impressed. They're like, oh wow, like awesome. You're really doing it. Like you're really doing it. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, it's a struggle, but you know, at the end of the day, it's just worth it at the end.
Is that inspiring? Like showing stuff to your family and having them really fuck with it?
Yeah, I mean, at first I was like when I first told them that I was doing shows, or like when I was doing music, like they weren't really a big fan of it, because like they just didn't want anything happening to like me. Of course, because like they know how it gets, you know. But like overall, like I just like all the work that I did, like overall the years, like they've really been impressed. They're like, okay, yeah, like, you know, I can see the vision now. I can see what you're trying to do, and like just keep going. You know?
That's so awesome, man. Do you remember, like, with both you guys? Do you remember the first time you sat down and like wrote a song, like put pen to paper and really started writing?
Dude, I actually bought a rhyming dictionary.
Whoa.
Yeah, when I first started.
On some real Logic shit.
Yeah, on some real shit. Like I actually bought one, and I think that was like 6 years ago, 6 or 5 years ago. And yeah, I remember too, and I remember our first studio session. and I still have like the song I recorded that studio session, and it's like really cringy and really bad, but you know it was my first time in there. But yeah, I definitely remember like the first time I recorded and my first like song written. Obviously it's not the best, but hey, fuck it. I mean, you know, it is what it is.
Those are good things to keep, to go back and look back at. Just remind yourself how much you've improved.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Drew, do you remember like the first time you sat down and tried to write a song?
I remember, I think it was my first song. I don't remember if it was or not, but I was in the kitchen table, and I felt super inspired because I was like just listening to a bunch of music. I was like, you know what, I'm about to make the most lyrical song ever, bro. You feel me? So I started writing on my notes on my phone and stuff, and I made like a dope, like at the time what I thought was like a dope song, and then like I never recorded it, but like I do remember that feeling the first time I ever like wrote my lyrics, and I was like, I recited them. I would like always practice, and yeah, bro, good times.
It's gotta be like a powerful thing, like sitting down and just after all those years of just loving hip hop, being like, damn, I'm doing this now. You know what I mean?
And then eventually, like, so when I started making music, this was like during high school time, and I only had like 4 or like 3 classes at the time. So I would really just go to my 3 classes or 4 classes, whatever. And then during like my free periods or whatever, or during lunch, I would always go to the library and just lock in and just write lyrics. Always just write lyrics. Yeah. Listen to beats all the time. And then eventually later, I started freestyling, learning how to freestyle, learning how to punch in, learning how to, you know, develop as an artist, melodies, choruses, bridges, verses, everything down to, you know, just try to perfect the craft. And I'm still learning as I go, but we definitely came a long way though, for sure. If you ever get to hear the old music, if it's on SoundCloud or somewhere, you're gonna be like, damn.
Yeah, I put all my things private now from like before. Yeah, so because like I mean in total, I mean, bro, we recorded like. Dude, so many songs. I mean, like some are, like most of them aren't even done, but like we recorded like a lot.
Do you accumulate like a big vault? Like, do you have like a bunch of songs that you'll never put out?
Our producer JR he has like our own folder, like ever since like our first session there, and like it's definitely a lot. I think like out of all the artists he's worked with, like me and him are like the most like he has like in his file right now.
Yeah. So. Where do you guys record at?
San Jose. Well, like it's like near Levi's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Santa Clara, right?
Yeah, Santa Clara.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, so not too far from here.
No. It's like 15 minutes.
Nice. I know you guys put out a bunch of singles and stuff. Do you have any plans like for a project in the upcoming year, month, etc.?
Yeah. So right now we're really we're working on our YouTube channel.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So we're working on our YouTube channel right now. So basically, with our YouTube channel, what we're doing is we're posting everything what happens behind the scenes. So like our studio sessions, our shows, how to throw a show. Our photo shoots, video shoots, and we also have like bonus footage that we have in there as well, where you put in like little pranks or like just like footage from like our club, like the club night outs and all that with our homies and shit. So that's the bonus footage, but we're mostly putting our like the behind the scenes of studio sessions, shows, photo shoots, video shoots, all like with what happens with music. So like right here, like he's filming for the YouTube channel now. So just everything. So just everything what happens at the back end of music, and so we're really pushing our YouTube channel right now and just pushing out singles. So just pushing out singles now. So with projects though, I think I'm just holding on for a project right now.
Yeah,
like an album type thing. I might put out like a 3-song EP or something like that, like later on in the year. But right now we're mostly focused on singles, our YouTube channel, and shows.
That's super sick. I feel like the YouTube channel thing, what's cool about that too is like when you feel a little bit less motivated, like lock in and make a bunch of songs, you can go do, you go to the YouTube channel, and then when you feel less motivated to do that, you can lock in and make tracks. So it's like you can balance those two things, and then you always feel inspired to do something. Yeah, and then if it wasn't for him, like he does most of our video work all the time. So shout out Phil. Yeah, shout out Phil.
Lero.
Filero.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if he wants to come in here to say a little word.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Nah, he's a little camera shy.
But yeah, like Filero hasn't really put in the work for us, you know. And it's so hard because like we reached out to a few like videographers on what we're trying to do with this YouTube channel, you know, and they didn't see the vision until he came in the picture and he saw the vision and he's been rocking with us ever since.
Oh,
and,
that's fire.
Because people, there's not that many videographers that want to do YouTube type stuff, like vlog type things or just like all that. And yeah, so it was really hard when we tried to put out this YouTube channel. But yeah, well, now it's rolling and going. So, and it's getting better by the time.
Yeah, YouTube's like an interesting thing. It's a whole different beast than like doing something on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's like a totally different thing.
Yeah, no, and this YouTube thing is very different for us. Like we never really talked in front of the camera like that, how we are right now. And that's why we just need to get out of our comfort zone and try out another thing that we're not really used to doing. And we're like adjusting to that right now. So each video, like we get better at it all the time. So, which is, I guess, what.
Yeah, that's like the super weird part. Like, I don't know. Like speaking on camera for me, like I'm definitely used to it now, but it took me a long time. Like I used to have a bit of a filter when I was on camera. Like I wouldn't. I don't know. I never felt like I could like be totally like myself and totally natural on camera. At least for the first like 30 or 20 interviews I did. But now it feels like I'm not even like there's no camera there. And that's like what I really try to do in my interviews. Like I really try to like get people to like, you know, just talk to me like there's no camera there.
Oh yeah.
And
that's hard.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, and like people don't realize it. Like whenever like we're in public and like we want to do like a scene or a shot, like it's just you just got to get out of your comfort zone. And that's what we're working on right now. Because at first when we started doing this, it was a little bit awkward. Like not gonna lie, like
totally.
Scene like in like front of a movie theater or like in front of a place and like people just walking by and like staring at you, but like they don't realize like you're talking to your fans. So like that lens right there is like your fans right there, and like, people don't really like realize that, you know, and that's what hard about like understanding like the vision, like, you know, and like that's why like the videographers didn't see that, you know, because I guess they didn't really want to do the stuff that we're doing, but yeah. It's just crazy. I
mean, to somebody on the street walking by, like that's like a very abnormal thing, you know. But what's cool with our generation, I feel like it's starting to be more normal. Like being a creative is becoming more and more of like a common thing to do, and I think that's like exponentially positive for like the vast majority of people. I feel like just having like creativity around you just makes you a happier person.
Yeah. No, definitely, for sure.
Just having any kind of outlet, really.
Yeah.
Where, so in the next 5 years, like if you came back to this interview in 5 years, what are the main things that you would hope you have done in 5 years?
Going
Say them now, because they're gonna happen.
Yeah. Hopefully be on tour. Be partnered with a label, you know, that can help us out with DayDream. Just going on tour. Bringing like our homies on tour with us and opening up for us as well, and just having like Billboard hits, you know, like, you know, try to get more than 1 million monthly listeners on Spotify, like more than monthly listeners on Apple Music, like, and just having like the strongest fan base out of the Bay Area, you know, and we're really trying to like have a big impact in like the Bay Area, and not only in the Bay Area but like around the world, you know. So yeah, that's
for me. I'm trying to be on XXL by like next year or in 2 years. I'm trying to just get all the way to the top. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm trying to be the best. I'm gonna say it right now, bro. In 5 years, I feel like we're definitely gonna be having a lot of shows, festivals, hits. Like, it's moving, and I feel like the YouTube thing definitely will like capture all those moments. Like, you're gonna really be riding with us. Like, you're gonna be part of the DayDream. Like, you're with us, but
Appreciate
obviously
you.
not really. But
yeah,
because you're watching with us. Like, you're watching, but I just feel like we're on the way there. But we just gotta do it now. We just gotta do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we just want to make a big impact in the next generation.
Yeah.
You know, we want people to see us as like, you know, as the Drake or as a Top Dog or like OVO, and like, you know, building an
Daydream.
empire, you know. DayDream, yeah, and like DayDream's like the vision, you know.
That's real. That's gonna happen. I gotta pull up one of you guys' next shows. Let me know.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
bro.
So we got one April 8th at the Catalyst. So
Yeah.
at the Catalyst we're opening up for Pimp Toby, and
Yeah,
we
bro.
got another one.
Send me the ticket links.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to pull up.
Yeah, and then we got one in January 14th in SF at Brick and Mortar.
Fire.
Yeah, It's with Eastside, I believe. Eastside,
cool.
Yeah, shout out Gerald and Ish.
Yeah, shout out Gerald for real.
Gerald.
Me and Gerald I'm talking to Gerald about some stuff we got
Yeah,
coming. But yeah,
yeah.
we'll talk about that
Yeah, I
in
feel like
future interviews. But shout out Gerald.
Yeah, no. As of right now, if artists need help in the Bay Area or with shows or just with music in general, I feel like they should really go to Gerald.
That's cool that you guys know him. That's a funny coincidence.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, and it's crazy how many people knew him already.
Yeah,
you know?
hella,
It's
dude.
crazy, but
Yeah.
he's so slept on though. Like
Facts.
people are sleeping on them.
Facts.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Appreciate you. Tell everybody where they can find your music, stream your stuff. If
Yeah,
you got any
no.
videos or anything coming up soon?
We got the shows coming up. We got music. We're gonna go to LA and film like the biggest single that we have right now that we think is gonna do really good. Just go to LA, and we were actually gonna go to Washington DC and Florida to open up for Big Baby Gucci.
Oh, that's fire.
Yeah, but like unfortunately with the promoter it didn't go through. But yeah, no, we just got shows coming up. We got a music video coming out later on too. Bunch of music videos, bunch of visuals. Yeah.
Dope. Excited for you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you,
One
bro.
last thing. And I am working on a tape right now. It's almost done. It's gonna be called Ignorance Plus Plus. It should be coming out sometime in the middle of the year. A lot of songs coming soon. We've been dropping singles every month, and yeah, just stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Thank you guys for
right.
having us, man. This shit was crazy.
Oh,
This
dude,
was
of course. Appreciate you guys
Yeah.
reaching out. Like, for real. Thank you so much.
Thank
All
you,
right.
bro.
Ambition 81 Drew. Music matters.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
cool.